January doesn't have to be about fixing yourself. This month on Chasing Brighter, we're sharing Superwoman Diaries, honest reflections on the invisible pressure women carry. Our free January download, Permission Slips for the Superwoman Who's Tired, is a gentle reminder that you don't have to earn rest, explain your no, or do it all to be worthy. So sign up for our newsletter to get the free download at chasingbrighter.com.
Welcome to the Chasing Brighter podcast, the podcast created as a guide to make midlife the best life.
Are you ready to embrace the next chapter of your life with confidence and excitement? Your best life is just a listen away. Hey, Kelly, how are you doing today?
I am good, Jess. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Well, I have questions for you regarding teeth.
All right. I have opinions on this.
Do your children, ages 11, almost 12, oh my gosh, you're dying, and 15, go to a specific pediatric dentist?
So we have moved them to a regular dentist for the last 3 or 4 years. So I go to a dentist that's by our house, and it's I'm just going to go with cheap. And I really like the dentist. And it was kind of a janky office, but ironically, they moved to, you remember our old condo? They built a new condo next door. And then the dentist hit the practice to a brand new space. And honestly, when a dentist moves to a fancy new space, it was all about the customer patient experience anyway. So it's very nice. And so I moved the kids around that time. The reason why, Jess, is because I found the pediatric dentist to charge through the nose on all
what were you paying?
Services. They would charge. Every time I was walking out of there, I was paying like $300. And we have dental insurance.
Goodness. No.
Yeah.
I don't need
and
to pay.
So I found it and that dentist was my friend. We were in a mom's group together, and she ran this practice. And then she hired a bunch of other dentists, and then she skipped town and was like, they moved to like Costa Rica for a while, and then she came back. But, so then we ended up not having her. We had these other dentists, but, I was like, why am I paying so much? And then I go
That's insane.
So let's say it was $150 per child for like the fluoride treatment, right? That doesn't get covered by insurance.
No,
well, then I go to Misswalk and it's $20. So, I moved them to just a regular dentist.
We're at it.
You don't do you get charged for, because fluoride treatment is like optional. I guess it's not included.
I think they get the fluoride treatment because they say they
Actually, I think Beckett did too.
They can't eat or drink for 30 minutes after the appointment.
Yes. Beckett, I didn't have to pay for, but I did pay for myself. So maybe for young kids, they don't charge.
So my old neighbor Heather, remember my previous neighbor Heather? She had 3 kids and was my go-to for everything when we moved to Vegas. And Gabriella has been going to this dentist since she was 2 years old. And I'm like, she's going to be 18. I feel like we need to go anymore. But it was always a nice office. But over the years, now he has like video games in there, and they're always playing Disney movies in there. And they always take all 3 kids at the same time, and they take all 3 of them back. They've been so accommodating. But I think he might have multiple locations. So I went by word of mouth of a trusted friend and never researched anything. But he only works, I think, at only this location, like 7:30 to 11:45 is like the last appointment. Now that the kids are getting older, Dominic doesn't want to miss any school. When they're little, they're like, yay, we got to go to school late. Well, Dominic doesn't want to miss anything ever of school. And his school is very intense. They're not chill. Like, oh, you had an appointment. It's like you have to come in at 6:30 the next day then to make up if you missed a quiz or something.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm like, well, Gabby, and their teeth are all in and they're totally fine. Giovanni has special, that there are people whose adult teeth don't come in.
Yeah, the kid from Stranger Things for a while, like delayed or something.
What? What are you talking about?
Never mind. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Through exams, through the x-rays, there are like no adult teeth and a couple spots in his mouth. So he said sometimes they come in later. Sometimes it's fine. It's just whole thing is kind of a wait and see kind of game. So I want him to just kind of stay there. But Gabby and Dom have typical teeth where they're all grown in. Everything's come out. As I'm talking to you, I remember that we did get a referral for her to have her wisdom teeth out, and I never followed up on that. So that's another referral for my children. I also have not followed up on an eye doctor for Dominic, so got to make some appointments here. So I just canceled their appointments. I went to reschedule, and I go, you know what? Just keep Giovanni's, and I'm just canceling the other two, and I have to find them a new dentist.
So do you like your dentist?
Kelly, this is such a great question. I don't have a dentist right now because the dentist I went to is very small. I love the dentist. Dad referred me to go there. We used to go to this other dentist, and she sold her practice and retired to these young, amazing millennial female dentists who, this was so strange to me. They're not like, it's very not private. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's walls, but not full walls, like between all the chairs. So our dentist that we all went to, Mom, Dad, Justin, and I all went to, the woman did like a warm neck wrap. You did a hand wax, and it was so cute. And she sold her practice. She retired and sold it. And so for a couple times, those dentists went to her practice. And then they moved us all to their practice, which was very much like so many people at one time, like chair, 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 chair. And there was like a wall between the chair, but the wall didn't meet the other wall or the other wall. It was like a standing wall partition thing. And I just felt like a number.
So
and they were very, very
that's
smart,
not what you want.
Making money.
Yeah.
They did everything in office. I'm like, look at these women. This is great. I didn't feel like it was private. So then I went to where Dad found, and she went to USC. So I like set that aside and saw her, but she only has like one dental hygienist. So when you got out of rotation, if this makes sense on your 6 months, it's like I had to cancel, and I was so out of whack. I haven't like rescheduled.
I understand everything you're saying. And what I'm hearing is that like you're balancing the needs with what's available in the marketplace, sort of a thing where it's like, we are very busy. I don't want to deal with, like, my life is already complicated. I want to be able to get into a dentist quickly.
Yeah. Yes.
But I also want to feel taken care of. And I want it to be, I also want like no frills. I just want to get in and get out.
Yeah. Right.
And so I'm grateful that the dentist we have is like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other dentists, I feel like they're constantly wanting to upcharge and find. I actually quit. Remember the dentist I quit the one time where I had miscarried, and I had a cleaning from her. And before I had miscarried, she was like, well, if you're still pregnant in like 6 months, we can schedule your cleaning. And I was like, why is she saying that? And then I had miscarried. And so like, I know that they are unrelated, but like
she obviously did voodoo witchcraft and
I quit her. Yes, I quit her. I was very not happy about, and I know she had her own issues about conceiving, and she like, I felt bad even when I was pregnant.
That was really weird.
I felt awkward, honestly, in the whole thing. So I quit her, and then I kind of bopped and booped, and then I find that really, I think asking around has been really
that's
on this case,
yes,
right?
And when I hear you saying it,
if you want to come to Chicago, I'm sure Dr. Rael will be happy to take you.
Well, I know Justin knew a rep, and his wife became a dentist, and she's on billboards all over, and I'm sure and I went to dinner with her, and she's adorable, and I'm like, I should go to her. And I was driving far for where Mom and Dad had recommended me. Then I was kind of driving far for where they recommended. And then I'm like, there's probably 25 dentists, Kelly, like walking distance from my house. So what I think like a lot of busy parents, particularly women, will, I think, relate to is that now I've decided that my 15, 17-year-old need to go to a different dentist. I'm going to be motivated to get to give a fuck and find someone where I wasn't motivated for myself.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Jess. Honestly, use your personal assistant, ChatGPT, and say, I live in this zip code. Because I find like Google reviews, you have to really comb through anymore all this stuff, because you can't just be like, oh, it says 5 out of 5 stars, or oh, it's like 4 out of 5. You hear what people say to get the gist. And it's a lot of lift.
And our dental insurance, like, it's not on my medical card. I don't have a card for it. So Justin has to log into this employee thing. print it out. And that's why I think I don't want to change, because I'm like, oh, I did that 7 years ago. Now I got to go print this out.
Well,
So
I
find a
know,
new
but the other thing I
dentist.
feel like with my dentist is I'm filling out the same form all the time. In fact, they send you the like link to fill out an updated form. And
Mhm.
so I was scheduled to have a dental appointment tomorrow, and I had called to reschedule, and it's 4 blocks from my house. So they'll usually call and say, "Hey, I know you're next week, but we had a cancellation." So I called and I was like, "Hey, I need to reschedule." She's like, "Can you come at 3:30 today?" I was like, "Yeah, I can." So
Yeah.
but since it was last minute, I didn't fill out any of the online forms that I feel like I normally do. And so then Brian, his appointment is today, and he was like, "Hey, did you get that link?" And I finally convinced, by the way, I did finally convince my husband to move to this practice because he was going to
Mhm.
these other places. And I was like, there's no need for them to charge you this stuff. Like, I want a dentist who like keeps my teeth, does a great job keeping them clean,
Yeah.
make sure there isn't anything like catastrophic happening. But
Yeah.
like, don't tell me I need to get like gum
The only
surgery or
thing we
something.
paid for, I think, like sealants. I don't think
Yes,
the most I ever
100%.
paid at our dentist was $150 because Gabriella she had to have her teeth pulled. She was not wiggling or like taking care of them.
If,
And it was $50 a tooth. And that's the most I
oh,
ever paid there. It was
Oh,
150. And
Melissa, the pediatric dentist who
Mhm.
was quite wonderful. And if she was still practicing, I probably would have stayed there with the kids. But when she left, I was like, I don't really have a reason to be here. Um, I was like, how much, when Wes went in on the one time and they're like, this needs to come out. I was like, how much are you going to charge for that? And they're like, well, we're not really sure. It just depends on insurance. And so I don't remember how much it was, Jess, but ever since then, I'm like, anybody who has a loose tooth, I'd be like, we got to get that out before you get to the dentist because they will just like literally take them all out
I
and charge you
know
for
that.
it.
And that same in our family, we were like, that's 150 tooth. Justin was like, she should pay for that because she was like, her teeth got like, I'll change the dental subject after this, but almost like got eggshells, like as thin as eggshells. So she didn't tell me, and her teeth had broken. Her baby teeth had broken, and they were like in pieces still in her gum. And I pulled some of them out. And so then I said, we need to go to the dentist and get the rest of these out because this is ridiculous. So yeah, Gio's like wiggling. Mom, are you wiggling? I'm wiggling every day, Mom. I'm wiggling. And Dominic just ripped
Oh,
his out. Dom was like, oh man.
Beckett had one
Yeah.
for weeks. In fact, I was only cooking him like soft food for breakfast and he wasn't like brushing his teeth because it hurt. And I was like, 30 wiggle. The dentist originally, that dentist told me 30 wiggles a day was like the thing. So I'm like, okay, 30 wiggles a day. And man, Beck could not, it was a molar, so it's like more
Yeah.
difficult. But man, I was like, I'll take it out. And
Yeah.
I've only taken out one of his teeth, but Wes, I took him out all the time.
My kids keep their teeth like in middle school. Their teeth never come out. They're always the last for everything to happen. But I think as we summarize today's conversation, it's just kind of, we get it. We relate to you. If you have a referral or an appointment or something you have to make, it's hard to establish a new relationship and
Well,
find
and
someone new.
I agree. It also, there's this like invisible load of the things we should be doing that we
I
don't get
know.
around
Oh my
to.
gosh, I know.
And then, the other thing is a frustration of the things that we do. We are all taking on so much.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it feels like everything is overdue. And I think it's just like give yourself grace
Absolutely.
to, get to it when you can. It's so much all the time that we just all have to figure out what are our values and what's important and make sure that we're kind of living that with what we're doing and not beating ourselves up.
Yeah.
When we're not.
Absolutely. Yeah, give yourself that grace.
Thanks for listening today.
If you loved today's episode, share with a friend.
Are you ready to chase brighter days ahead? Subscribe to Chasing Brighter now, and let's embark on this exciting journey together.